Well, hello again, everyone. Mr. Reeves back with you. And today we're going to start looking at subtracting integers, lesson 1.3 in our textbook, starting on page 19. But before we look specifically at subtraction and how to subtract with positive and negative integers, I really wanted to take some time just to compare addition to subtraction to kind of explore some conceptual understanding there. All right, I hope that's okay with you. And so what I want to do is let's go ahead and start on a number line and take a look at addition and subtraction on a number line. Then we'll look at it with counters and some other examples as well. All right, so first of all, on a number line, one of the basic ideas that we need to understand about adding, when you add a positive integer, you go to the right. All right, so if I'm going to add a positive integer, then that is going to take me to the right. And if I'm going to add a negative integer, all right, so what I'm going to do, let me move this one over here. I'm going to take this and flip it around that way. I love how it turns red when we're going the other direction. That one right there is going to be adding a negative integer. All right, so if we're on the number line and we want to go to the right, just trying to make these look kind of the same. There we go. If we want to go to the right, we can add a positive. So it doesn't matter where I start. So right here, okay, this one would represent 1 plus 8, and it would be 9, right? I just keep adding more positives. This one would be 1 plus 11, and it would be 12. Or I simply shift this around, right? That would be 3 plus 10, which is 13. This one would be 3 plus 6, which is 9. But you notice, as long as I'm adding a positive, it's going to get bigger. Oh, that's kind of cool. All right, and it doesn't matter if I start with a negative number, right? So this one, now I'm over in the negatives. I start at negative 14. All right, I add positive 7. All right, I'm at negative 7. So even if I'm in the negatives, if I'm on the negative side, it just gets bigger as I add positive numbers, right? So this one is negative 11 plus 12, and it ends up at 1. So this first idea I really need you to wrap your head around is adding a positive simply moves you to the right, and wherever you end up is that answer. And then adding a negative, of course, is literally the opposite, right? So adding a negative, I'm going to move to the left. So here I'm at 2, and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 2 plus negative 8 would be at negative 6. So I just move that many to the left. And again, on a number line, the answer is where you finish, where you end up, okay? So now I'm at 2, and I'm going all the way over to negative 12. I go 10 that way. And again, it does not matter. Let me move this one out of the way, okay? It doesn't matter what number you start with, okay? I'm starting at a positive 12, and I'm going back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? Doesn't matter if I start with a positive, doesn't matter if I start with 0, doesn't matter if I start with a negative. Just this idea that adding a negative moves you to the left, okay? Whereas adding a positive moves you to a right. So that is addition on the number line. All right, if we go back and take a look at addition with tiles. Okay, addition with tiles makes sense to you guys, or it should, because addition, since you've been in kindergarten or even pre-K, all right, it is this idea of putting things together. Adding is putting things together, right? So I just put a whole bunch of stuff there and say this is an addition problem. Now, if I'm just adding negatives to negatives, I just get more negatives, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 negatives. Add another, that's 6 negatives. Add another, that's 7 negatives. All right, so when you're adding negatives to negatives, you just get more negatives. Again, I need you to get this out of your head. Some people get stuck in their head that 2 negatives make a positive. No, not when you're adding. Negatives make more negatives, okay? You just get more reds or you get more yellows. So when you're adding and they're the same sign, you just get more and more of them, all right? So where addition gets interesting, though, is when you have a mixture of positives and negatives, right? So if we take a look at this one right here, I'm going to try to line that up there, pull these guys off, okay? Now I have, let's see here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 negatives. Whoops, that wasn't supposed to happen. 8 negatives, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 positives. All right? So I put them together, but here's what happens. These become 0. Remember, these are called 0 pairs. Every single positive cancels out with every single negative. All right? So I wish they would just like disappear when I put them together. That would be really cool. But they don't. All right? But I can just go ahead and I can cancel them out by drawing, and we can look at it that way. All right, so let me go ahead and just do it that way, and I'm going to change this to red, and I think I'm going to ditch the arrows on there, right? So that makes 0, 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 and that makes 0. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 negatives cancel with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 positives, and we're left with 2 positives. So this problem, what did we had? We had a negative 8 plus a positive 10, and we ended up with a positive 2. So that's where we get this idea with addition. What do we have more of, and how many more do we have? Or which one has a greater absolute value, and then what's the difference of those absolute values? What do I have more of? I have more positives. How many more positives do I have? Well, 10 minus 8 is 2, right? Okay, let's clear all that out there. Again, if I put some positives out here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I put out some negatives, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, well, just by looking, what do I have more of? I have more negatives, so I know my answer is going to be negative. How many more do I have? Well, I'm going to subtract away 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So here we go. So this one was positive 4 plus negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, what do I have more of? I have more negatives. All right, how many more do I have? Well, I look at the absolute value. 8 take away 4 is 4. I have 4 more negatives. Let me do that again. That's kind of sloppy. All right, it was positive 4 plus negative 8. Okay, I have more negatives. So my answer is more negative. And if I subtract the absolute values, 8 take away 4 is 4. Not 8, Mr. Reeves. Okay? All right. I know I spent kind of a long time on that. That was a review of addition, but that's important to understand and wrap your head around addition because honestly, subtraction, every subtraction problem we're going to talk about can be changed to addition. But what about subtraction? This idea of subtraction as take away, well, it still works up to a certain point, right? For example, if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 negatives, right? And I simply take away 1 negative, well, now I have 4 negatives, right? If I have 4 negatives and I simply take away 3 negatives, I have 1 negative, all right? So as far as subtraction as take away, it works fine as long as you have stuff to take away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, six positives, right? There we go. Whoops. Wow, grouped them together. 6 positives. I don't want it there. All right. I have 6 positives, and I want to simply take away 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're gone. Whoops. Gone. So 6. This guy does not want to go away. He's fighting me. Gone. Gone. No. Gone. Wow. Okay, fine. We'll do 6, take away 3. That guy is just fighting me. He's a fighter. He doesn't want to go away. All right, 6 positives, take away 3 positives is 3 positives. Okay? So that idea still works as long as you have them to take away, right? Okay? So the problem we run into with counters is if you want to take away something that's not there. So for example, what if I have 4 positives and I want to take away 5 positives, right? Or what about if I have 4 positives and I want to take away 2 negatives? They're not there. Then we run into some problems. So we'll be coming back to that. That's something that's going to be a little bit tricky. All right, what about on a number line? How does subtraction work on a number line? All right, let's go ahead. I found this site here. It's called Math is Fun. I really like this site because, hey, they know that math is fun. But they have this example with a balloon attached to a basket. So balloons on the top and weights on the bottom. And we're talking about making that basket go up. So if I want to make that basket go up, what could I do? Think about it, okay? These are helium-filled balloons. Okay, you guys, I don't know if you ever saw that movie Up. All right. What makes the house go up? Okay. What would make the house stay down? What will make this basket go up? All right. So I can make this basket go up by addition, or I can make this basket go up by subtraction. Does that make sense? Either one. And I can make this basket go down by addition, and I can make this basket go down by subtraction. It's weird. Both. When you have positive and negative numbers, you can achieve the same result 2 different ways. So let's talk about how can I make this basket go up by addition. Here is how I can make the basket go up by addition. And you know this, right? I can add more balloons. If I add more balloons to this basket, it's going to go up. More helium is going to lift it, right? Does that make sense? So to make it go up, I can add a positive. That corresponds back to this number line. That is adding a positive. Going up on the number line is like going to the right, okay? I wish I had a little animation here and I could show the balloon going up. I really would like to know how to do that, okay? The balloon is going up, 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 up as I add a positive, okay? All right, so let's go back to our balloon. What about if I want the balloon to go down? Now, I'm going to go to this one right here because this is what we talked about already. I can add more weights. I believe I said make the balloon go down. I meant the basket go down, okay? This basket will go down if I add more weights, right? Keep putting weights in, it's going to pull it down. It's going to pull it down. All right, well, that is like adding negative numbers on the number line. Again, can you picture as I do this, the balloon over here going down? Oh, that would be so cool if I could do that. I'm adding negatives and that balloon is going down. I'm adding negatives and that balloon is going down. Can you see it? So to make the balloon go up, in fact, I'm going to write this. I am so excited about this. I am going to write this right here. Here we go. So this one, balloon goes up when we add a positive. And over here, this is going to be the balloon. I did it again. I can't believe I did it again. I keep saying balloon. It's not the balloon that is going up. This is supposed to go into the trash. Let me try this one more time. The basket goes up. All right. You know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of those hot air balloons. You know, hot air balloons have baskets on the bottom, right? That's what I'm thinking of when I keep saying the balloon is going up. I'm thinking of it as a hot air balloon. Okay, and on this one, here we go. The basket goes down, right? As I add a negative, the basket goes down. Okay, so if we go back over here to our example that we were looking at right here, again, we can make the balloon go up by we can make the basket go up by adding balloons. We can make the basket go down by adding weights. But we can do that same thing with subtraction. How can we make the basket go up by subtraction? We can subtract a negative. We could subtract a negative, okay? So subtracting a negative. Take those weights away. Think about it, okay? I've got these weights on there, and I take them away, and that basket goes up. All right? In fact, you may have seen those hot air balloons, and sometimes they'll have like sandbags, and they'll toss the sandbags off to get rid of weight, right? Or heaven forbid they toss one of the passengers off. But there you go. That will make it go up because I am subtracting a negative. I'm subtracting a negative, and that is going to make it go up. So if I go back to my number line right here, all right, if I want to go up, I can subtract a negative here. So down here, all right, I can do the same thing. Let me see if I can go ahead and click on here and get this. I can subtract a negative. I can subtract a negative here. And I bet you know what we're going to do next. Over here, I'm going to flip this one around. How do I move to the left? There we go. How do I move to the left by subtraction? Well, this is the one you guys are used to. You are used to subtract a positive, right? You guys are used to take away, making things smaller. Okay? All right. So really with subtraction, the ones that's new is this idea that by subtracting a negative, you go to the right. So again, if we go back to what we were talking about with the basket, let's see if I could get this to come up again. It doesn't want to come up, so I can write. All right, we'll just try writing it by hand. Now let's try. Here we go. All right, so again, this is going to be the basket goes up. All right. And this one right here is going to be the basket goes down. All right. So on this one right here, as we look at this here, let's see what we can do here. We wanted an arrow. All right. So for this one, we're going to be going up. We are increasing in value, and this one we are going down in value. Add a positive or subtract a negative, it's going to get larger. Add a negative or subtract a positive, it's going to get smaller. Okay, if we go back to here, if we want to go up, let's go through all 4 cases, okay? If we want to go up, we can add more balloons, okay? If we take balloons away, it's going to go down. So adding positives go up, adding negatives go down. All right, if we want to go down, we can add negatives. And if we want to go down, we can, if we want to go up, we can subtract negatives. All right, back to this example here. There we go. All right, so that's a conceptual understanding of addition and subtraction on the number lines, okay? And if we go back to the tiles, if we go back to our counters, again, if I have a value here. If I want it to get bigger, I will add positives. It's getting bigger, all right? If I want it to get smaller, I will add negatives. So I'm at -3. If I want it to get smaller, -4, -5, -6, -7. Now I know what some of you are thinking. Well, wait, that's not getting smaller. There's more of them, but there's more negatives, right? So as I add these reds, which direction am I going? As I add these reds, it's getting more negative, okay? If I add positives, it's going to get bigger, right? Because every time I add one of these positives, it's going to make these go away. Can I group these together and then make it disappear? No, it only takes one at a time. I got to work on this, guys, because I want to do a trick where these two are together and they go away together. But all I seem to manage to do is, let me see, can I do that? Whoa, did it work? Almost worked, sort of worked. I did a couple, but it's not going to work now. It's all right. This guy is stuck too. Don't know what happens. Sometimes I get them stuck. Here, we'll make this one go away. How's that? And then these two together, and they go away. Okay. All right, so that's an introduction to addition and subtraction, how they work together. If you can wrap your head around this idea, whoops, let's go back. This idea here, just that conceptual understanding is really going to help you as we go forward with subtraction of integers. All right, hope this video helped you out. See you next time. Have a good day.